Hello, my name is Brian Murphy. I'm giving this presentation as part of my assignment for the course Foundational Seminar, as indicated in this slide. My presentation is about practicing sustainability at a community college, my community college, and I hope this can be a start or some ideas on how to make a start if you want to practice sustainability at your institution. Table of contents for today's presentation is to describe the setting in which these sustainability practices and analysis occur. A look at one of our buildings on campus that is the future if we want to have sustainable buildings. I will offer some large-scale strategies and some small-scale strategies for the campus to improve. I will ask what else can be done and provide some answers. And a bulk of this presentation was to encourage the leadership at my college to embrace having a sustainability position and making it a priority. And then I'll offer my conclusions. The setting in which this analysis took place is Erie Community College's North Campus. I have an aerial view showing the campus property, which is located on Main Street in Williamsville, New York, a suburb of Buffalo. As you look at the buildings in the picture, 90% of these spaces were built in 1960 and have not significantly been upgraded. The only energy efficient buildings are the STEM building and a small addition on the electrical engineering wing. The problem with these 1960 buildings is that they really were not built with energy efficiency in mind, and the idea is their age and construction makes them energy consumers and wasters. The STEM building was commissioned in 2017, and I'll describe all of its features that we can learn from. And the nanotechnology addition has solar panels and energy efficient practices, but the remaining 90% is ripe for improvement. The STEM building is a beacon for what a sustainable building could be. We can learn from this building and try to renovate our other buildings using this as a model. It does have solar electric panels on the roof, but more than that, it is very energy efficient in its construction and its orientation. This building was granted LEED Gold certification. The Green Building Council has a set of criteria, including energy, electricity, water, impact to the environment, natural landscaping, construction, of course, and all of these things wrapped together. Manufacturers and construction personnel want to reach these LEED certifications. It's very prestigious, and it means that you have incorporated as much energy efficiency as possible into your design. The reason I add this article in the reference because a lot of people talk about economic growth, but this presentation is asking you to have a mindset of a qualitative improvement, sustainable development, not just economic development. This building has daylighting as one of its features. In other words, you orient the building facing due south and you take advantage of sunrise and sunset like buildings did before the onset of available electric light. This building also has a number of motion sensors to control both lighting and heating in the spaces to only come on and initiate when the building will be occupied. This goes a long way to save a lot of energy. And why do we focus on buildings? Because 48% of all the energy consumed and the greenhouse gases emitted annually is based upon buildings' energy usage. So it's a great place to start. Some of the large-scale strategies that I suggest to make a campus more sustainable is to go ahead and do some modeling of energy performance on your buildings. Find out where the energy leaks are. Then renovate these buildings with the concepts of the STEM building in mind. The very first thing for renewables, if you're going to deploy them, is do photovoltaic cells first. It's a very efficient way to curb emissions. It's a quick addition to self-generating and reducing your energy consumption. You can read about this in the Dinser article. Some other key systems to evaluate the major energy consumers is the building envelope itself. Always make sure the building has been treated before you evaluate the HVAC and the electrical. Improving the energy efficiency is directly related to reducing environmental burden from the energy that this building would consume. Some small scale strategies that I would say, go ahead and do it right away. Reduce your energy waste. As I said, look for the leaks. Replace the oldest windows and doors first. Also, if you're like my campus, a lot of buildings and rooms are unevenly heated. They're either too hot and people are opening the windows, wasting energy, or they're too cold and people don't want to be in there. So take a look at your control systems and get them adjusted. The pneumatic controls could be replaced with digital or other more modern techniques. Motion sensors, as we mentioned with the STEM building, turn off those loads when no one's in the building. Another facet of energy reduction is saving water usage, low flow toilets, etc. And one of my favorites is expanding the landscaping. Through proper selection of native plants, you can eliminate the need for irrigation and upkeep and mowing and all those things. And the other benefit is plants can block hot sun in the summer, offering shade, or block cold wind in the winter from the prevailing wind side. And also, they're good for the soul, provide a relaxing and refreshing environment, especially on campus when students can get stressed out. This is also fully developed in an article by Sandifer about the biodiverse nature. If we go and sit and interact with it, the benefits to humans is measurable, physiologically measurable. My first attempt was to encourage the college leadership to make sustainability a priority goal. I learned about the President's Climate Leadership. It is a nonprofit of college presidents that got together to help accelerate climate action through their influence at their higher education institutions. I shared this commitment letter with the previous President Ho Khoi as shown in the photo. I explained to him that the campus commitments is the basis for change. By signing on to this organization, each president agrees to do a carbon footprint analysis and strive to reduce that and strive to make their buildings and their electrical grid and their facilities resilient. Fast forward to this fall, a chance for a fresh start. I shared the same PLC commitment letter with our new ECC president. I explained to him that it would initiate and support a campus community task force on climate action. We would develop and implement a climate action with that group. We would do a greenhouse gas emissions inventory on the campus and come up with a reduction plan. So the good news is President Bill Reuter met with me and exchanged ideas. He further went on to initiate a meeting with the Student Government Association, and he agreed to start a climate action forum. Sustainable transportation is another area that we considered. So, what else can be done? How could there be more participation among students and staff to increase sustainability and recycling? I think it's through commitment of the faculty and staff to share their ideas. If we have a few committed individuals that are willing to do it and make it visual, like putting recycling cans that are clearly marked and trash cans that are clearly marked, we can make a start. Interestingly enough, I believe the students were very much committed to doing this, as evidenced by the GSA meetings. How about other forms of renewable energy to reduce our electricity, heating, and cooling load? Geothermal? Well, there's a snapshot of what geothermal would entail. We would have to excavate. We do have a lot of property. The question is, how is the soil and rock uh, as far as excavating? What about wind? If you have enough free area between the nearest obstacle and the wind turbine tower, you may be able to implement some medium-sized wind turbines. Challenges are, for geothermal, as I said, the cost of excavation, but once it's installed, it would pay back in a fairly short period of time. And wind needs clean air, so you can't have any obstructions within 7 to 10 times the height of the tower. And lastly, my conclusion for the group: making connections toward global sustainability. I believe these proposed actions, the large and the small scale strategies, if they're all initiated, will help ECC be part of the climate action and make a change for the better. I also believe that the academic institution in most communities will be able to propagate this message to the surrounding community, to be an advocate on campus and whenever we're out doing recruiting events, open house, anytime we're with the public, promote sustainability with our policies and our working groups. I believe that all the individual excitement and caring about what we need to do to help the climate as students, faculty, and staff will get behind these practices. Why? Because it's the right thing to do, because it benefits everyone and may help the environment survive, as well as being the most efficient use of a publicly funded institution by taxpayer dollars. I leave you with the photo of us hugging the earth and caring. The references at your review. My contact information is below. Thank you very much.